Hello everyone, this is H2Acon here from Online Nights, and I am back with the third episode of Mass Effect Factions. In this series, we attempt to provide a breakdown of the various races and factions in the Mass Effect franchise. As with the previous episodes in the series, we'll be splitting our summary today into 4 sections: history, anatomy, military, and culture. So let's get straight to it, and take a look at the Asari Republic. Starting off, history. The story of the Asari up to the time of the games. Please note that in this series we're never going to be covering in-game events, however we do still ask that you be aware of potential story spoilers. The Asari originated on Thessia, a planet with an unprecedented abundance of Element Zero, a rare material which emits dark energy. Tens of thousands of years ago, this mineral richness caused the Prothean Empire to take an interest in Thessia, and by extension, the Asari. At the peak of their galactic supremacy, the Protheans uplifted dozens of species they deemed worthy to join the galactic community. The Protheans saw potential in the Asari, and began subtly intervening on Thessia to accelerate Asari development, gifting them with knowledge, technology, and even genetic mutations. When the Reapers returned to the galaxy for the harvest, and destroyed the Protheans, the Asari were not yet sufficiently technologically advanced to become a target for the Reapers, and thus they survived into the current cycle. But with their scientific head start, and by reverse engineering technology left behind by the Protheans, the Asari then developed rapidly. They became the first species of this cycle to develop spaceflight, and before long they discovered the Mass Effect relays, allowing the Asari to spread across the galaxy. Around 2,500 years before the time of the games, the Asari found the Citadel, the enormous space station which was formerly the capital of the Prothean Empire. This find catapulted Asari technology yet further forward, and so over the next 1,000 years, as first contact was made with the other races, the Solarians, Krogan, Turians, etc., it was always the Asari negotiating from the position of dominance. The Asari used their power to secure and maintain supremacy on the galactic stage, and so by the time of the games, the Asari Republic is the most influential faction in the galaxy. Secondly, anatomy. A brief description of the features which characterize the Asari. Asari are humanoid in form, except for their lack of hair. Instead, their heads are topped with semi-rigid crests made of cartilage. Another difference is their skin color, most individuals appearing a shade of blue or purple, and individuals frequently having colored facial markings. Asari also have robust regenerative systems, resulting in a slower aging process, and causing Asari to routinely live to over 1,000 years old. The Asari are unusual amongst the Council races in that they are a monogendered species. There are no male or female Asari, their reproduction occurring asexually. However, Asari do closely resemble human females in physical form. As a result of mutations caused by overexposure to Element Zero on Thessia, the Asari evolved limited telepathic powers, and it is these that they use for reproduction. The mother takes a telepathic imprint of genetic information from the father individual, and melds it with their own to form the DNA of the offspring, this imprint being vital to ensure genetic variation within the species. This process is also possible taking imprints from non-Asari fathers. Indeed, several Asari characters in the games have Krogan ancestry. There is a rare genetic defect amongst some Asari where the afflicted individual actually kills their partner during the telepathic melding process. Sufferers of this condition, referred to as Ardat Yakshi, are therefore forbidden from having any sexual relations and are confined to monasteries. Moving on, military. A look at the strength of the Asari armed forces. Exposure to the abundant Element Zero on Thessia also caused the Asari to evolve a proficiency for biotics, a predisposition which the Protheans then manipulated even further. As a result, all Asari are to some extent capable of creating and controlling Mass Effect fields. Those Asari that choose to develop this natural talent become almost unrivaled in the strength of their biotic abilities. But whilst agile and gifted with biotics, the Asari are not big enough or strong enough to stand toe-to-toe with most other species in a firefight, and so Asari strategy mainly revolves around avoiding head-on engagements. They typically utilize guerrilla warfare tactics, relying on ambushes and infiltration to beat the enemy through attrition and avoid major battles. Thus the Asari military is mostly composed of small squads of commandos, snipers, or biotic artillery, with very few heavy infantry or armoured vehicles. The Asari also have one of the largest navies in the galaxy, their star fleets usually being composed of frigates, fighters, and other small vessels, which use similar hit-and-run tactics to whittle down their opponents. Though they do have larger ships too, possessing over 20 dreadnought capital ships, including the Destiny Ascension, the massive flagship of the Citadel fleet seen in the first Mass Effect game. Finally, culture, a summary of Asari society. Due to their unusually long lifespans, Asari tend towards making decisions with a greater focus on the long-term impacts. It is this long view which so often gives the Asari an edge, their scientists having centuries to study and research new technologies, or their businesses being willing to make investments which will not pay off for decades. In fact, such is the strength of the Asari economy that the mere threat of an embargo by the Asari trading bloc is frequently more than enough to pressure the other council races into changing policy. There is a single dominant religion, that known as Siari. The belief holds that the universe is conscious, and all living things are a part of the universal consciousness, death being merely one spiritual energy merging back with the energy of the universe. This belief of sacred unity is reinforced by the Asari ability to mate with other species, convincing many Asari that all life is similar. This ideology is also partly responsible for the Asari emphasis on peaceful cooperation between species on the galactic stage. Prior to the rise of Siari, back before the Asari had left Thessia, the most prominent religion was centered around the worship of an ancient goddess called Athame. In reality, this deity originated as the Protheans, coming down to Thessia to uplift the Asari. Thousands of years later, this memory of a hyper-advanced alien race became warped into a myth and story of a goddess, and thus the worship of Athame developed. Despite most contemporary Asari subscribing to the belief of Siari, Asari language still contained many references to Athame, such as common exclamations of, "by the goddess." So that was the Asari Republic. This is by no means a complete account of everything we know about them, but we hope that this at least goes a little beyond the information available in the in-game codex, and helps give a better understanding of the Asari. We hope that you've enjoyed the video. I've been H2Acon from Online Nights, and I'll see you next time.